Dzień dobry, witamy wszystkich na kolejnym WEinnovators.club, na spotkaniu tym razem z Talem Catranem i szanowni Państwo, to już 16. nasze spotkanie, niezwykle się cieszymy. Spotkanie, które dzisiaj wiąże się z pewnym eksperymentem, bo z reguły spotykaliśmy się wieczorem o godzinie 20, 21:30, 2 razy w tygodniu. W wakacje będziemy spotykali się raz w tygodniu, tylko w środę, ale na początek wakacji mamy eksperyment. Wtorek, godzina 14. Patrzymy, ile osób będzie teraz i czy Państwo chcą widywać się z nami o takiej porze. Już za tydzień spotkanie, ale w środę oczywiście spotkanie z kolejnym gościem, z Davidem Burkusem, a teraz, żeby już nie zabierać więcej czasu, oddaję głos naszej fantastycznej prowadzącej, która sama by się nie przedstawiła, ale ja ją przedstawię i powiem to, co pewnie tutaj zmrozi żyły krew w żyłach niektórym. Magdalena Jabłońska, chyba z najlepszego programu akceleracyjnego w Polsce i nie tylko w Polsce. Dziękujemy, Magdo, że przyjęłaś nasze zaproszenie do prowadzenia. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Bartosz, for this kind introduction and for inviting me to this to moderate today's discussion. In the beginning, I would like to welcome warmly Her Excellency the Ambassador Tal Ben Ari Yalon, who will introduce us today to today's discussion, to Israel and to our guests. Tal, I'm handing over mic to you.
Thank you, Magdalena. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. We're actually in Israel in the middle of our second wave of Corona. So I think when Tal, our lecturer, Tal Catran, will finish his lecture here, he should probably give it in Israel more often because they'll need it as well. But the thing is, when it comes to dealing with the effects of Corona, we are all still learning. It's a work in progress, and it's something that we should all remember. And as governments, we have the responsibility to help the business sector, to help the entrepreneurs, to help the startups. And our government is doing it in Israel, and we as an embassy are trying to do it here to assist the business sector, to assist the government with the Israeli experience. And basically, we're here for you. So I'm very happy to introduce Tal Catran, who doesn't really need introduction, who would probably tell you a lot more things about himself and his many, many accomplishments. So Tal, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Magdalena, you will take it from here.
Yeah, so a few words about Tal from my side. What I read about Tal, and because I also had the opportunity to watch him on other webinars and also his TED Talk, but maybe you will hear what can other people see. So he is an experienced mentor, serial entrepreneur, an expert in acceleration. So he managed to build several acceleration program. And as he wrote about himself, through his hard work, he became a guru on building accelerators, hubs, startups, and the entire ecosystem. So it's a great pleasure to meet you. And I'm glad that we have opportunity to discuss about startups and accelerators. So because we both love this subject. But in the beginning, I would like to ask you, what were your beginnings? So how did it happen that you started to create accelerators, and what motivates you to deal with this world, I mean, startup world?
Okay, thank you. I'm very glad to be here. I'm happy for this opportunity to return to Poland. I was with you just last week. I want to thank the Israeli embassy. I want to thank Tal. As you see, Tal is a unisex name in Israel. It means, by the way, it means the morning rain. It's called dew. The morning rain, this is the meaning of our name. So I'm returning to Poland, but this time I return with many friends because my last visit was actually speaking to your ecosystem. And by the way, the week before that, I was the keynote speaker of Wolf Summit, which is very famous also in Poland. So week after week, and I'm starting to visit in Poland. By the way, I really wanted to come physically. Corona, we don't travel. And this is where I want to share with you a bit about this, this opportunity. So again, I want to thank everyone for giving me this chance, and I hope it will be interesting for you. By the way, I will be sharing some of my details here on the chat. So please use it if you want, and connect with me for any questions or anything I can offer. And I just want to add before I begin is that the chat is not really to ask me questions, because that's Magdalena's job. I want to offer you to use the chat to know one another. I'm not sure that everyone here knows everyone. And I see we're picking up numbers. We're now over 30 people. Probably you will better use the chat just to introduce yourselves to other, you know, say what you are willing to offer, or maybe something that you need. So that to begin with. So thank you for the question. And I want to say how it started with me. So I'm speaking here now from Israel, very near Tel Aviv. I can actually see the towers of Tel Aviv from my home. And to say that we are called, you know, the startup nation. So here in Israel, it's almost mandatory, like to have a car is to have a startup. And the reason, by the way, that we are called startup nation is not only for the fact that per million people, we have the most startups than any other nation in the world. By the way, we have 8,500 established startups, LTDs in Israel, for a population of 9 million. But that's not true, meaning the actual population that deals with high-tech and startups is only 350,000 people. That's the entire ecosystem. 350,000 people have over 8,000 running startups. We are known to do huge exits. By the way, during Corona months, Israeli startups raised near $1 billion in funds. During Corona, when you know, I mean, investors are more reluctant to invest. There is no maybe much money running around. Well, there is tons of money running around. And another milestone is to say that an Israeli startup called MoveIt was acquired by Intel for $900 million. That's close to 1 billion. That's a unicorn during Corona. So Corona is pushing on. So you ask me how I started? Well, like everyone else, you come up with an idea and you say to yourself, probably someone already thought about it, and it bugs you. Day in, day out, and you say to yourself, I need to tell someone. But you say, who will I tell? If I tell to someone, he will steal my idea. So what to do? So you tell your parents. By the way, you tell an idea to your mother, what do you expect? She loves you. She will say, oh, it's amazing. You're a genius. By the way, you have my genes, not dad's genes, my genes. This is why you're so clever. So push it on. And then you tell it to people and say, hey, you must do something about it. And this is how, in most cases, you will start. It takes time. It takes time. And me, like everyone else, I had idea. By the way, I had ideas, but my ideas were not startups. My ideas was to create, to establish, to cultivate, to help startups grow at what we called acceleration programs or accelerators. And I actually established my first one in 2012. By the way, 2012, not 1912. 2012 in Israel, we had about 5 accelerators. Currently, we have over 250. But in the beginning, there was nothing. And then I started to do more and more accelerators until I became the accelerator guru, just for the fact that I've established 14 of them so far. Hopefully, Guinness Book of Record will put me in. Currently, they don't have the criteria for this. Hopefully, soon they will. So this is how actually I started. It started in an ecosystem called Israel, where everyone around you speaks startup language. Everyone here, as you know, Israel, for us, Israelis is a very safe place. But maybe to some others, you think Israel is not safe. By the way, I welcome you, not now, after Corona, to see Israel is very safe. So in this environment, we are very used to taking risks. By the way, for Israelis, failure is not a big loser. Failure is a major milestone to success. This is why we are not afraid to try. And when you try, well, sometimes you succeed. We will speak about it more later.
Thank you for this introduction to the ecosystem in Israeli. So building on that, I would like to direct our conversation to the ecosystem we have in Poland, because it has dynamically changed over past 5-10 years as well. And since you told us that you've been there many times online or offline as well, what have you observed? What changes you observed here in Warsaw and in other ecosystem in Poland? And if you met any interesting startups, what do you think about them?
First of all, thank you for the open invitation. You're all invited to invite me over. I would like to come first time to Poland. Haven't done it yet, but I will. It's definitely on my map. By the way, I was in touch with Wolf Summit many times, so I had it planned to come. Well, again, some things changed. Anyway, speaking to startups in Poland specific. So what I hear is that capability is there for sure. Capability is there. So on the technical issue, I have no doubt. I have seen amazing things being developed, okay, by startups. I think there is still a bit, being a bit fright of daring, taking head on. Seeing a vision is a one thing, but when you are afraid to fail, it stops you. And when you are afraid to try, it stops you. And by the way, when you have it in a kind of a culture, for instance, how about a student in Poland comes home and tells his parents, by the way, not in Warsaw. Poland is not just Warsaw. It's huge. It's, I think, 45 million or something.
38.
Sorry?
38.
38. Sorry, I gave you a few millions. They are already immigrated from Poland. So 38 currently. When a student comes home and tells his parents with all the excitement, hey, mom and dad, I have this great idea for a startup, I would assume his parents look at him and say, startup, schmartup, get a real job. Because startups is risky. Startups, in a way, are not depicted, not recognized to be serious enough business. Not because they are not serious, it's because there is a lot of risk opening a startup. By the way, statistically, 96% of startups shut down first year of operation. Meaning you have 4% chance to succeed. Well, you better get in a den with a lion, you know, instead of having a startup. Maybe there you will stay alive. Startup will probably kill you. So when you think about it, it's a lot about daring and taking this chance when you don't have a supportive ecosystem that says to you, wow, being a startup is something good. Having a startup is a virtue, is a plus. You can see it also in jobs. When you're looking for a job, okay, maybe if you write in your resume, startup, okay, I think it gives you bonuses, not takes off. Because think about it, if you are a startupper, you're self-sufficient, self-reliant, very independent, very daring. You're not afraid to fail. Yes, you take it all the way. In a way, you push mountains. You can speak to people. You can convince people. I mean, how much nerve do you need to turn to someone you know 5 minutes and say, by the way, I'm raising $1 million. How about giving this to me? How can you say to someone you don't know? So it's a lot about daring. I think it's a good virtue to have startups. So I think people, what I feel, there's a bit of reluctancy. I don't know, I'm not saying fear, but in a way, it's in a kind of a culture. It needs to be more enforced. Second, it needs to start younger. In Israel, we start entrepreneurship age 15. By the way, you know cyber as a technology. Israel now begins teaching kids at school cyber in the age of 9. We start teaching cyber. And by the way, cyber is not just deep web hackers. Cyber is robotics. Cyber is mobile. Cyber is much more than software, okay? So again, we in Israel, we feel the trend and we take it all the way. While you in school probably teach English as second language maybe, Israel is already offering students to learn Chinese. It's because we see the market. We see the giants building up. So we're already getting ready and teaching Chinese. So it's about being proactive. It's not about sitting and waiting for the $1 million to fall into your lap. It's about reaching out and grabbing it. It's about pushing people and saying, no, no, I want to speak now. It's my turn. I want to ask. This is why I'm saying, if I would not say, please offer what you have on chat, I would assume no one now will go on chat and say, hey, by the way, I'm so-and-so. You can already see people are writing on the chat. It's because this engagement in Israel is the kind of our character, our culture is to be like this. Push. I think Polish people should adopt more of it. Again, on the capability side, I have no questions. We're the same. We are not better than anyone. It's about having it in our thoughts, being aware, and doing, not just saying, doing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure that we are the same in terms of potential we have, yes, but we have to learn a few years more to turn this potential into great companies. So as you said, startup is a virtue. So entrepreneurship, and I believe that entrepreneurship is a skill. Do you think the same or not? And what is the role of Accelerator in teaching this skill? If there is any role.
Okay, so by the way, there is still a kind of a debate. Is entrepreneurship a kind of a gene that you are born with, or can it be taught? I think, first of all, it can be taught. And by the way, it needs to be. I don't think anyone is born to be Galileo Galilei or Leonardo da Vinci. I don't think you're born this way. But I think you can be directed towards being so. I mean, you can be trained to be independent. You can be trained to taking risk when someone is supporting you and saying, it's fine. I have your back, as we say in English. I have your back, okay? So go ahead and try it. Yes, entrepreneurship needs to be taught. By the way, if we look at the life cycle of a startup, in a way, it's like a baby. In every stage of the way, even a baby, when it grows up, needs a different person to assist him, starting with the mother, then maybe kindergarten, then a teacher, then a professor, then his boss, then his wife boss. It's like a kind of a cycle, yes? Startups are the same. This is why you will never hook up with the same mentor for life. There is mentor for this and mentor for that. There will be a mentor on technology, but there will be mentor on a business issue. There will be a director that can then enable and help you reach a certain level. Then you say to him, bye-bye, and you continue with the next one. This is the evolution that even a startup has. So yes, in the life of a startup, as I've already mentioned, there is those two people, the CEO and CTO. Those people have nothing in common in life, nothing. A CEO, well, he flies 80,000 feet in the air. He believes he can fly. He's Leonardo da Vinci. But Leonardo da Vinci had another skill. He can do. Yes, he was a thinker, but a doer. It's not that common in startup life. You have a person who he has a vision, and another person who has his feet on the ground. But this guy on the ground cannot dream of flying because he knows people can fly. He knows the rules of physics. This is why you need two of them. One flying high, one feet on the ground. One with the ideation, the second with the capability to perform. This is how a startup starts. This is how it begins. Then you have the mentors. By the way, you are not born to be a mentor. You are trained to be a mentor. But no one is training mentors. We need to start mentoring mentors. Then you have, let's say, accelerators, hub, incubators, all those names. You're not born to be an accelerator manager. You need to be trained to be so. By the way, Same way as you're trying to be a driver, a doctor, a teacher. Why is startup different? By the way, I see people with business cards say startupper. It's already a profession. This is why, yes, it needs to be taught, but needs to be taught, I would not say in a certain way, but with a broad line of subjects on how to become one. Then you should decide. I believe not everyone is born to have a startup. Startup is not for everyone. It's for specific people. By the way, driving a race car is not for everyone, although everyone drives. But racing car is a different kind of a profession. So yes, I believe startups is not for everyone, but I do believe everyone should have a shot at trying to have a startup. Because the amount of information and skills that you will get for actually conceiving an idea, ideation, then moving it from the dream to the reality, from a dream to a, as we say, a kick-ass startup is a big mission. And then continue developing technology and You know, one of the most asked questions I get is, what is the difference between a startup and a small business? Well, how can you differentiate a startup from a small business? Think about it. A small business will always be built on the skills of the person who has done what he's doing now, but on a smaller scale. For instance, I opened a barber shop, it's because I was the assistant of a barber. I opened a grocery store, probably because in my youth, I was there because it was belonging to my father, so I know the business already, you know? So all the businesses you will think, the small ones, start with me having a small career in doing the same. Startup is about doing everything you have never done in your life, never, ever tried, and they are technological. Startup needs to have a technology. It doesn't need to be disruptive. It doesn't need to change the world, although this is what startups feel. They feel they're going to change the world. But they need to do. They need to perform. A startup does one thing. By the way, you see coronavirus. Why is coronavirus not passing? So, you know, they said when summer will come, when it will be hot, viruses die. Well, we see as a fact, the corona is not dying. But the one thing corona has as an animal, okay? It's an animal, it's a virus. It's a living creature. Survival. Whatever we will do to hold back the virus is difficult because it has its own will to pass on its genes. This is why when you put a mask, you only make it tougher. You're not really holding it back. You tell him, listen, you want to pass your genes, you want to stick, you want your race to live, do whatever you need to do. This is how difficult this fight with corona is, in effect. But this is a different discussion. I don't want to despair anyone. Corona will pass, we'll all be okay, forget about it. Corona is only on TV, you don't have it, you don't get it, you will never, God help us, it will be over.
There is already a vaccine, as you said.
Yes,
somewhere.
I'm saying there is somewhere for sure. I don't want to say names, then someone will sue me. I don't want to trash so much, but I know what I know, okay? What I'm saying again, survival mode like virus, survival mode like any living creature, startups have the same sense of surviving because they believe tomorrow they will raise money. So let's survive until tomorrow, we will raise money. Second is hopefully the CTO will deliver the app that he promised me 6 months back that he will finish it tomorrow. That's survival mode. I'm saying this because of Corona, because in a way, all humanity now is doing survival mode. This is why people tell me, what's the effect of Corona on startups? Not much, actually, not much, because this is the day-to-day of startups. What everyone now in the world feeling about Corona is what startups feel every day. Uncertainty, unclarity. By the way, if you think about it, Corona is the new equalizer in the world, meaning now we're all equal. The fact, okay, Magdalena, that you have a private jet and I don't even have bicycle, doesn't matter. We are both quarantined. We can't use it. So who cares what you have?
We are the same.
We are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that I will drive a Fiat Panda and you drive a Ferrari, you can't leave home. So who cares what you have? It's an equalizer. This is why for startups, now it's like every day, and startups say to the humanity, welcome to our day-to-day. This is how it feels to have a startup.
Referring to survival mode, last time we had a discussion, maybe last time, in the beginning of Corona, we had a discussion with investors. So they advised their companies, portfolio companies, that survival mode is not enough for them. It's a time to take some crucial steps to change maybe strategy, to take some more risk even sometimes. So what do you think about this advices?
First of all, I cannot agree more. It's absolutely right, but it needs to stay in the boundaries of logic. You know, sometimes we say to people, get outside of the box. I say, yes, get outside of the box, but still find the box. Don't go too far from the box. Yes, Corona is a big test time, is a big chance, opportunity, okay, to show that you have what it needs. We know now that raising money is difficult. This we need to say openly and honestly. Why? Because if you go to angel investors, they're like just you and I. I mean, not you and I, because the difference between us and investors is the fact that they have money and we are poor. But let's say not poor, but we don't have the money, okay? They have the money, but they also have a lot of experience and knowledge. They know what could be the outcome. They calculate much faster than us. But now they're more reluctant. By the way, VCs. So some VCs raised money before Corona. So they have the money to spend. But others that didn't now keep it to maintain what they have in their portfolio. So all in all, finding money is more difficult. Then sales. Did you try and pick up the phone to any international company and say, hello, I want to sell you something? You say hello, they close the phone, if they answer. I mean, most of them has closed their offices. International companies are shut down, working from home. Well, now, I'm in the middle of my living room sitting with my kids. You're going to call and say, hey, how about I'm going to sell you a software? I say, bye, call me after. So no one now is want to spend money. Everyone is cutting expenses, not spending money. Yeah, tons of excuses why, yes? So selling is near impossible. So what you are left with is actually marketing and exposing yourself, or, as you said correctly, pivoting, twisting, tweaking. This is what you need to do now. You cannot tell me, Tal, I have this great travel tech startup, and look at me, and I'm looking at you shocked, and you're saying, travel tech? Travel tech is dead. You want to pitch to me travel tech? Pitch to me in 2024. I will listen to you then. You cannot look at me and say, wow, I'm shocked you don't want to invest. You cannot look away from the fact that what Corona has done for the world, also on the opportunity, the fact that cyber now is soaring. We need to protect everyone working from home, remote employees. Cyber hackers is a big deal, is a fact. Tele everything, telemedicine, remote education, everything needs to be remote. Robots. We see, because of social distancing, that between you and I is a robot, currently called internet. But in real life, we have a real robot. So look about robots. Think that if I want to order from home, I need to have the ability of an app to order. Then when I order, I need to pay. After pay, I need to deliver. If I need to deliver and there's quarantine, I cannot use car or bicycle. What do? Maybe drone. So now we see drones are building up. Opportunities all around you. This is why you said so correctly, is the investors are saying, wake up. Look at what humanity is now offering us. Look at the opportunity that Corona, the challenges it puts before us, and let's do something about it. Now, think, and I'm saying this to everyone, including you and I and everyone here. We will live to tell our grandkids, I'm 50 years old, so I will have grandkids before all you kids, but I will live to tell my grandkids that we went to such a time when everything changed. The world was until now in a certain way, now changed. If you're a startup and you began your startup before Corona, you went through Corona, You stayed alive and working, and now you're talking to people after Corona. Well, you have just passed this desert of death, and you stayed alive. This says something about you. This is when, well, this is why, sorry, now is the time to show your customer later and your investors now and later that you have been created from a kind of different breed of people. When everyone was despaired, when everyone said the excuse, yeah, I'm sitting at home, no one is answering, oh my God, he's told that. You said, enough with crying, I need to do something about it. And you came up with a new idea. You pivoted a bit and you stayed alive and you sold. You found customers that are willing to buy during Corona time. And maybe a small investment, not the 1 million euro, but the 50,000, and you got it during Corona. This puts you in an amazing spot before everyone in this race of raising money, of succeeding in your startup.
So Corona was not only threat, and is not only threat for startup, but is a threat for the whole ecosystem that supports startups. So what are your observations how this ecosystem is shifting, maybe or maybe not? Because what I've observed that at least the biggest acceleration program changed their strategy a little bit just after this pandemic. So Y Combinator, for example, changed strategy, investment strategy. They are more selective and now look for COVID-related businesses. I mean, that respond to COVID and after crisis economy. So what are your thoughts about it? At the same time, I would like to ask you whether it's a good business model for accelerator to be a for equity accelerator in this time, yeah?
First of all, I will take the second one, is easier. First of all, acceleration programs currently these days, they don't take equity unless they give you hard cash. And I'm saying to you all, don't be quick about spreading your equity. Is because most cases you will now be giving small equity to the graphic designer, for the programmer, and this and that. And when an investor comes in, the first thing after he looks at the cap table, he says to you, this 0.5%, where is it exactly? With the designer, go bring it back. No, I'm not investing. I want to see the entire company here. And we call it a tail. You don't need this tail. Yes, as I said, startup relies a lot on the charisma of its CEO. You remember I said startup is not for everyone. Not everyone is born to be like this, but you need to have the charisma. And yes, your charisma needs to give you the ability to run a business with no money. Maybe some hugs and some pizza and cola, but this is all you can give. And the big promise that when it will happen, everyone will have a share of it. Everyone will be happy. So I don't know too many programs currently, accelerators, that actually take equity without giving money. If you're giving money, that's a different story. And this would be my recommendation. That said, it's your business. If you feel that either you give it or you are left with nothing, of course, give it. You'll not be sentenced to death if you give equity. Give all your equity. We say, at least have a little, of something than a lot of nothing. So go ahead and by the way, for this you have me. These are exactly, okay, the times when you see yourself say, who can I ask? Who can give me a true advice? And you say, Tal. Any of the Tals here. Tal, I need an advice. WhatsApp me, LinkedIn me, Instagram me, TikTok me. I'm everywhere, okay? Except Tinder and Grindr, I'm not. But everywhere else I am. Send to me and say, Tal, I need 10 minutes of your time. Don't write to me long. I don't read English. Just call me and say, this is what I need. So this is for the first. For the second, yes, what has changed? I want to say something and I want to be very clear on that. If you are smart and you speak the right way, in a business way, in a respectable way, you have learned your business, you know your market, you know technology, and you have a good idea, don't think twice what they can offer, what are they willing to offer, don't care, go and do. For instance, I know Poland, by the way, is quite known to have a large funds that is willing to give, I think, a billion zloty or enormous number, I know. But I'm told that to get the money, you need to bring matching money from your own. So they're willing to give you, but bring matching. So I just want to explain. Matching money makes a lot of sense. It's to show whomever is giving you the money that you have the capability to raise money, because raising money is very difficult. You need to go through a long process of convincing people to give you the money. This is why I understand why this is the criteria. But now putting it aside, I think sometimes you need to, as we say, go out of the box. You need to go crazy. Go to whomever tells you, I don't know, government or the I don't know, the department that negotiates this with you, and say, listen, now things are different. We are now in Corona. This is not day to day. This is not usual. This is even crazy for startups. This is crazy time. Let me be crazy. I think I have an amazing idea. I want to pitch it to you. I want to show you, not a presentation. I want to show you an MVP. I want to show you I have already done something small, thin, minimum, but I did something to show you that I can do what I'm promising. 2, this is my team. We are all from here. We are Polish. We are born here. Yeah? And we think we ought to get your money. Why should you give money to a startup coming from I don't know where, and don't give it to us? By the way, this money is from our taxes. Doesn't matter if from the euro, it's our money. We need to take it. And by the way, we cannot bring the matching right now, but we will bring the matching. Give us the money. Let us show potential investors that we persuaded you to give us the money, because you're the government. You have no problem giving us the money. Give us extension of, let's say, 6 months. We will raise the money during this time, showing that we have raised, we continue development, and this will for sure be more interesting to our potential investors. What I just wanted to say is that you need to know that today you can negotiate everything with everyone. You don't go to your bank and the bank says, okay, for your overdraft, this is the interest I'm going to take from you. No, I'm not going to pay you interest. You want me to stay in the bank? Give me without. Give me more. You negotiate. You don't hear and say, this is what it is. No, it's never like this. Never would you say again, yes, I was offered this and that's it. There is never that's it. When you are smart, you know the business. You have a real technology. You have shown you can deliver what you're saying, even narrow, even small. People love to help people before they ask money. And the ones that will help you with the money are the ones seeing that you can deliver, that you are capable, that you are people of your word. What you say is what you do. And I think you can make it happen. I see it happen. By the way, I had this call with a Polish startup yesterday. Maybe he's here in the audience. I don't know. If he's here, maybe he will write in chat. It was about a fund. He is a Polish startup. He is into disabled population technology thing, which I think needs to be done. And the thing is money. And when your private investors, your angel investors are more reluctant to give money, especially when you come from a country that startups for your country is maybe a little new. It's a new business. People don't know much about startup. It's not like in Israel that every family has someone with a startup. It's like this here. Think about the potential I told you. It's like this. I had the same conversation. I hope I gave him some backwind, as we say, pushed him to do it. I hope he will do it. I think if you try and do it, you just might succeed.
So going back to the mentorship, because I believe that what you've done to startup that you discussed yesterday was a kind of mentorship as well, yeah. So and you also created acceleration program where mentorship is a crucial element of such programs. So what do you think is the best mentorship style, whether it's a Socratic kind of style or it's rather not? What are your thoughts and what experiences you may share with us? I mean, accelerators or organizers of acceleration program, how to build a great mentor capabilities.
I think it's a very important question. I just want to finish one thing. You ask me, what do I think about accelerators? Not just the sheer fact that I'm the accelerator guru. I want to say to you that I recommend accelerators, but again, I'm asked many times, Tal, how do I choose the right accelerator for me? For me, the answer is always the same. Tell me who runs the accelerator and I will tell you if you need to go there or not. I don't care who is giving the money. I don't care for the branding. I don't care if it's a US based, Silicon Valley, whatnot. I just care about the person. If this person has gone through everything from startups to raising funds, to not even to exits, I mean, but he has gone through the hurdles. He did not sleep night after night because he was worried. He had to beg people to join his team because he has no way to pay, and he had to find this CTO guy and he has to beg, please believe in me. And he had to go to the investor and say, I just need those 10,000 to start with. And he had to do that. And he was not working from the big, I don't know, co-working space in Warsaw. He was working from a garage under a table. And he knows the hurdle. And he had to keep the day job. And he can work only from 12 at night to 5 in the morning and then go to work. This is the kind of a manager I want. And that he has credentials. The person can deliver. When he says, I will introduce, he introduces. When he says, I will help you raising money. Again, no one will do this for you. Get this into your heads. No one will do this for you. This is your business. The success is yours. The failures is fully yours. You know, success has many fathers. The failure is an orphan. You will be this orphan always. But this is where you need to understand. You don't join an accelerator just for the demo day event where you for sure will raise money. No, you will never raise money in a demo day. No one raises money in a demo day. Demo day is 5 minutes to people to say, this is my business card, call me tomorrow. By the way, when they say call me tomorrow, they don't mean you to call them tomorrow. Call them maybe in 3 weeks. Not tomorrow. It doesn't work this way. You need to understand the flow. You need to understand the rhythm of things. Okay? This is why you need mentorship. This is why you need a person that he walks the walk, he talks the talk, he knows people, he knows how to schmooze, to raise the phone. He knows. This is the kind of mentor that you need. You need someone. He will not be there for you 24/7. He's not your father. He's a mentor. He helps you. He mentors you. He gives you advice. But you want someone that puts responsibility alongside his advice. Not to say, well, we tried. It didn't work. This is not mentorship. Mentorship is to give best experience, have a discussion what you think about it. You take the decision, but if you choose to take it in the way of the mentor, there will be also responsibility from his side to make the utmost to make it work. Okay? So this is first of all about joining an accelerator. For sure, yes. I can tell you in Israel, some startups that I know do 2 programs at the same time. I can show you a list of startups that go between my accelerators. They finish one, they go for the next. I look at them and say, are you crazy? What, you need me to hit you on the head again? You didn't get enough? No, they want more. I understand why. It's because when they calculate, okay, what is the potential for them to earn, they say, we're better off with him. We know this crazy guy. But at least he delivers. Find this person for you. Understand, people are not born to be mentors. They become mentors. They need to train for it. Well, same way as you take second opinion about everything, your medical, before you buy a house, a car, or whatever, same here. You don't tell the mentor, give me some credentials, because you're not paying him. You cannot take advantage of him, but you can check silently. For instance, go for his LinkedIn. Check him on social networks. See what he has done. And remember, yes, you don't pay mentors. That's like the common practice currently. Okay, although when you just scheduled an appointment to your doctor, you will pay for him something just to say, yes, you have a cold, wipe your nose and go out. You will pay him. Why? I don't know why. Because he's a doctor. He will save your life. Mentors can save your life the same way. Mentors can give you this $1 million advice. It will all change your life entirely. Still, you don't pay them. Don't be like this. Don't take advantage. I'm not saying promise them something you can't do. But if you like the mentor, get him on board your team. Make him maybe on your advisory board. Show your investors that this person is like the adult in the room. He has the experience. He has the age. You know, he saw things. Second, you never sign up with a mentor for life. As I said, he needs to have an expiry date. Whomever joins your journey should know he has a contract. It's a simple mail saying, hi, we like one another. We're starting today. Within 1 year, we're terminated. That's it. This is how you do it.
And regarding accelerators and ecosystem they create, what are your experiences in building a network for acceleration program, and how to connect different accelerator? I mean, find for them one denominator that they can, you know, that can be a basis for their collaboration.
It's a tricky question because on the one side, accelerators compete with one another on the potential of startups.
Yeah.
Every accelerator would like to get the best startups on his team. So in a way, it sounds like cooperation is a bit difficult, but once you have the cohort running, we all use almost the same mentors. We have about the same syllabus for the program. We are all turning to the same VCs. We all know the same angels. So in a way, all the resources are common. We know them. This is why it is essential for the ecosystem to speak between itself. And I can tell you from other countries where I myself opened, okay, the WhatsApp group of the ecosystem. Okay? In Israel, for instance, we have such a WhatsApp group, 249, like it's a full group in WhatsApp. One representative from each accelerator. We manage the country this way. We decide when demo days happen. We are sharing between ourselves, hey, this mentor is available. This delegation is coming from here and here. I need a place for 120 people with enough space. Where can I get the graphic designer to make the hats? Everything is shared, and the amount of information accumulating here is enormous. I can tell you in other countries, it began really slow. Everyone was holding their cards to their chest. I don't want to share. No. Little by little, they understood that on the way of cooperation, this is the way to success. By the way, check it. Companies compete between themselves. Startups always unite. Why? Resources. Startups are poor. You say, give me your graphic designer, I will give you my programmer. Give me your space, I will give you my I don't know what. This is how startups work. They unite. They share what they have because of lack of resources. Companies, they want to kill one another. They're competing and they have tons of money to do that. Simple answer. In the middle are accelerators. Of course, they need to unite. They need to share as much as they decide. Someone needs to pick up the torch. Probably it will be me. Pick up the torch and say, guys, this is the marketplace. This is the community. This is where we meet. This is what we share. This is how we all benefit from it. By the way, it's the easiest for you to engage with people is not to tell them, la, la, la. You say, listen, before we start, this is what you're going to earn. Now you want to listen to me? I come to you, Magdalena, and say to you, listen, I want you to earn 1,000 zloty a second. and then I tell you how. You say to me what? No? The other way around, you will say, no, how much? What's in it for me? When I start by saying, this is what you get, and then I tell you the idea, you're much more relaxed. You're much more attentive. This is how you turn to people. First of all, offer them something. Tell them what you're going to get from me. And then they will say, now I have the time to listen to you. Not the other way around. Another advice for investors. Don't go into the room with the investor and say to him, okay, hi, so I want to raise. Wait, he knows you want to raise. Why are you here? He's more interested in giving you his advice. He wants to see how he can maybe influence, be an added value with his experience and knowledge. This is why when you go to investors, you better say, hey, I didn't come to raise money here today. I just came for an advice. This is how you show them respect. And by the way, when you pitch to them and they see the potential, they understand this is interesting for them, for sure they will ask, they will even offer the money, not the other way around. Just a tip.
Thank you. Before I go with my probably last question, I would encourage our audience to ask some questions. So I will be waiting for your question on the Q&A section. And continuing our discussion, how accelerators can collaborate. So I understand your advice regarding ecosystem in one country, but what about connecting the dots between all different countries and different continents? Have you ever met such an organization that is a kind of platform for accelerators on a global scale? And what would be a benefit of such a platform? Because we are, as an accelerator, are a part of a network, and many networks, global networks. So we exchange our experiences, but also startups, because we want to find some global market for them as well.
Mm-hmm. So yes, first of all, there are platforms. I can mention one. It's called F6S. It's an international platform that hosts the best 10 accelerators of each country in the world. They're the biggest. Currently, myself, I'm involved in something I deeply believe in. It's a accelerator management platform, the first I know in the world. This is why I'm involved, and I've put my name as a guru. A software, a platform that is designated to help accelerator managers. It's for the managers of the accelerator to run the entire program, to run the cohort, the startups themselves, the mentors themselves, all the syllabus, all the documentation, presentations, lectures, the recordings and all, but also conduct the sessions between a startup and a mentor. Everything is managed within this platform. It's international. Currently, we have 15 over the world acceleration programs on board, which I invite, if we can have another webinar with accelerator managers in Poland, I will for sure would like to present you to do a demo of the platform, just to say. This platform starts from actually shooting out the call out, asking for applications, and then screening and sorting the applications with evaluators that will evaluate the startups and onwards. A bigger program, as I said, is F6S, which is international, which is running from 2014. I'm the co-founder in Israel for this platform. And this is also, if you want to find any program, probably it will be there. TechCrunch will do the same. Everything is there. So yes, there are a lot of platforms that will give you this information. Second is knowing people that are influencers, and you have those in every country, okay? Wolf Summit is a great example. I mean, Wolf Summit 2 weeks ago did exactly this. 100 startups competed for 50K euros, and they brought on the platform the startups and the investors. It was for raising money. so you can compete, but also you had your virtual booth where people can approach you. So yes, technology is there, but again, if you have the right team, you know, startups, when you say startup, you think technology. I hear startup and I think about people, because people are the ones doing everything. And then comes the technology from the people's minds and capabilities. So if you have the right team and you came up with the right solution and you validated your solution, you didn't run and make your business plan, which I call the bunch of lies, the book of lies. You don't need it. First, validate. Once you validate, then go for your business plan. You know, okay? So, and you have the right mentorship around you. I don't see anything stopping you, including Corona. Now, again, as I said, I'm inviting you to try it out. But if you're going to call me, come prepared. Learn who I am, learn what I do, be very specific on your questions, because time is very expensive. Go directly to the questions. You know, I understand very quickly, and I will give you my best advice. And if I can help, I will surely do it. No problem.
Before we get some questions from the audience, because I don't see so far.
No, because they are shocked. I answered everything. They cannot even come with ideas right now. They say, I need to absorb what just happened. Give me time. Well, no, really, it was a lot of information. It's not easy to digest in 1 second. This is why we invite them to keep in touch for sure. This is perfect.
Okay, Bartosz, do we still have some time or not?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know if we have the time, but I would like to ask you, Tal, about most promising technologies. How do you think? What is the if you invest your money, your own money in any technology, what would you choose? The question is now.
Me personally, I'm much into cyber. Most of my portfolio startups are cyber. And when I say cyber, I'm already speaking about companies which are still young of age, 3 to 4 years of age, but already have paying customers. Some of them raised money. Some of them knew to actually make the technology quick enough and good enough to start earning almost from day one. So didn't have to raise money, but this is really the unique cases. In most cases, you will raise money. Then, as I said, everything that is about digital. So retail, fashion, and food, robots, bots in computers, robots as well. I can tell you there is an Israeli very promising company called Meditemi. I was selected by the Ministry of Defense of Israel to be the robot that will be now be helping in hospitals. Instead of nurses, you will be talking to a robot. No need for that. Same with hotels. Although hotels are mainly closed, the one will open, will need to keep remote social distancing. So robots are now, in fact, drones. I have the first Homeland Security accelerator in Israel running since the middle of 2016. Drones are becoming very, very relevant because of distancing, because we can travel and everyone wants it very fast. I have now, I think, the first ever, instead of going to a shop right now and standing line, okay, so you can have your own self-checkout. So the same you have in grocery, but the same now for retail. So you will go to Zara and you buy whatever you want, but you can let yourself out and pay, which you don't have currently. So everything to do, remote education, definitely remote education, all those platforms. I mean, I was late to invest in Zoom, but everything that has to do with webinars or conferencing platforms is very relevant and it's here to stay. We already heard in the US, probably, universities are not gonna open next year. Schools, maybe not open the entire of next year. They're all moving to remote. Still, the fact that you have internet and laptop at home doesn't mean you're learning from remote. It's the fact that you're sitting in front of a computer, seeing Google. That's not remote education. Remote education is content delivered in a digital fashion. This we don't have much. This is already, we see right now, is like a burning issue. It's the hot potato that you need to look at. So all these clusters currently are very interesting, and I know many investments running around.
What do you think about gaming sector, video games? Because Poland now is known as, I would say, video games values.
The arcade nation of the world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, on Polish, on Warsaw Stock Exchange, the biggest company now is gaming company, which is worth, I think, more than half price of the second one, which is the biggest Polish oil and gas company. So, you know, it's absolutely shock in Poland. How do you think?
No doubt that gaming, since we're all stuck at home, gaming is for sure building up. I'll tell you more. VR, virtual reality, VR, XR, whatever. I mean, come on. I'm stuck at home for almost 4 months now. Can't leave home. Please, God, help me put something on my face and move somewhere else. Only VR can allow it. This is why we see VR now is building up. By the way, even for sports, not just recreation, but also sports, definitely for education, is because people had enough. People want to change atmosphere. Everyone, also the kids from the parents want to change atmosphere, believe me, okay? So VR is for sure building up. But what will not change is the fact that we are a social animal. So we will for sure keep on hugging and kissing and shaking hands. You know, people who come with me and do this, I'll shake hand, I take a hammer and I break their elbow. Enough with this, shake my hands. You don't want to shake, don't meet me. But enough with this. We are social animals. We will keep in touch. This will not rip us apart. Gaming, well, I have kids. I see gaming all around me. But what will become even, I think, stronger is the, how to say, those avatars, those everything will become more humane. We would like to see a person helping us, not just a bot with a picture. This is why gaming, when it gets you, I'm not just talking about, I don't know, Minecraft or Fortnite. I'm speaking about, you know, the heavy part. Not to say gambling, because we don't do gambling. We call it social gaming. Anyway, if it burns some time of being at home, it will be helpful. And if you don't have any more questions, because I really need to run, I just want to make a short closing, if it's okay. It's okay?
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so so what I want to say to people, I know now is a bit depressing. I know there's a lot of uncertainty. I know we are not sure about will we be unemployed? Will the company survive? Where we will go tomorrow morning? Will my startup still be running? Will I find job and all? I say, first of all, to everyone, please stay optimistic. Stay optimistic. We have gone through hurdles. The world has known bigger crises than this, and we survived. So first of all, stay optimistic. Second, dare and try new things. Don't do what you know day to day. The fact that you're at home now and you can allow yourself to wake up at 10 or at 12, don't exercise because you can't leave home. Eat whatever you find in the kitchen is not a good way of living. You need to change it. Go back to the routine. Have yourself a schedule. Train. Eat well. Enjoy. You are eligible to enjoy life in a different way. Don't stick to, if I don't go back to what I was used to, there is nothing for me. No. We need to alter. We need to change. Again, virus is changing all the time. We need to change as well. You need to adjust yourself to the current status. You cannot still dream about what was yesterday. This yesterday will probably not return. You need to be agile, especially if you have startups. You see Corona, adjust yourself accordingly. You see there is difficulty in raising funds and doing sales, Adjust yourself for more marketing, more exposure. Refresh your CVs, refresh your LinkedIn, refresh your website. Do whatever you need to do, but stay online, stay intact. Call your manager, say hello. You don't remember your company's CEO or your manager only in good times. You also remember them in bad times. This is when you call people friends, is when in bad times you remember them. You pick up the phone and you say, how can I help? I see the difficulties, but I think I have an idea. How about now? Maybe they will say, great, great. We have now time to listen to you. By the way, if you have a startup and you have reached out to a company and say, hey, how about you try my technology before Corona? And they will say, oh, come on, using your technology, it will take us months to pilot it and then to immerse it and to implement it and to train it. Well, came Corona. All of a sudden, within 2 days, they implemented technology they said will take them 2 years. Why? Because they can, because they need. You need to remember it. You call the CISO, you call the IT admin and you tell him, hey, I just heard you took the technology of my friend and you implemented it within 1 week. You said to me it will take you 1 year. What happened? Well, something happened. Sense of urgency. You need to remind yourself. You don't call your customer right now and you say, maybe you can buy from me. And he says, oh, it's difficult time. And you say, ah, come on. No. You talk to him the way he feels. You talk like he feels. Think with him. Say, how about we meet? Zoom is fine. Let's meet with Zoom. Let's speak. How can I help? Maybe we can think together. Be positive. Don't be cynical. I am the only one who has the authority to be cynical. You know, you need to survive. This is why we say we need to adjust to what's going on. You cannot stay rugged and say, this is how it is, I'm not changing. Do, as I said, a lot of exposure and marketing. Do a lot of PR. Cut on your expenses. What I just said about marketing, you need to do by yourself. Cut your expenses. Whatever you can do without, you do without. Whatever you need to do with your 2 hands, you do with the 2 hands. You need to survive. We need to go over this period of time. It will pass. It's already opening. You see Europe, it's already opening. People are starting to get out of home, still fried, still reluctant, still suspicious. Go on, survive. And, you know, as I said again in the end, adjust, 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 believe in yourself, the rest will follow. Turn to people. Asking for help is good. Asking for money, less. Be logical. Understand where you are. Be conscious. From the second you speak to, you just pick up the phone and tell someone, invest in me. Pick up the phone and you say, buy my technology. Pick up the phone and say, I can pay you, but come work with me. You need to prepare. You see how runners or sports people, when they get on the call, they get ready. They get ready. They put themselves in the zone. Get into the zone. This is how you speak to investors. This is how you speak to your potential workers. This is how you speak to your managers. This is how you speak to yourself when you speak to yourself, when you Zoom, when your head zooms to your heart. Zoom. Yeah? This is how you do it. This is the best I can give you guys. I want to thank you again, unless you want to say something quickly to me.
I just want to say thank you for this great and insightful conversation. It was a pleasure to hear your opinions. And yes, and from my side, I wish all of us that the next month will bring us opportunities that we will be able to turn into success stories that we will discuss in the next webinars. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Tal. Thank you, Magda. Thank you, Miss Ambassador. And at the end, I would like to show a short work of Angelica. I have it on my computer, so maybe I will share it. Thank you very much. And I hope that the future is bright.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Great.
Amazing.
So Angelica, thank you very much.
Wow,
Great job.
Angelica.
Great, great.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you so
that was
much.
great.
Simply amazing.
I need to get this somehow. My God. You see, you speak to me, say Creative Israel. You see what you can do? Oh my God. Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. I love it.
I do English
Thank you
this
so
way.
much.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you very
Tal.
much.
Thank you for the
You
opportunity.
will have it for a minute on your
Thank you.
email.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Belen,
you.
Boros,
Bye-bye.
Angelica,
Take
you.
Tal,
care.
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Hearing
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Shalom. Shalom. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Shalom.
Thank you. Boros, we're done.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks.
it was very nice. Listen, amazing. Wow, Angelica, what a talent. You'll send it to me? Can I post it? Can I use
Yeah.
it?
Of course.
Wow, wow,
You
wow.
are free to use it. I will send it in a minute. Could you give me the website address about the company with conference application?
Yes, so for the conference, the name is Event Place. No, don't write it.
Event
Don't write it.
place.
Don't write it. Don't write
Okay.
it. If it's okay for you, I would like to schedule a presentation of platform to you.
Great.
Okay?
So I will send you. This film, and then you will
Please
send me.
send me the video, the film, but you can send me just also the slide of the painting?
Yes, I can send you a film and slide.
Film and slide. Once I have your email, I will schedule. I will, by the way, I know you're going to think it's funny, but the name of the CEO of the company is also Tal. His name is Tal Moore. Tal Moore. He's the
Okay.
CEO of Event Place, the platform. And he would love to give you a presentation. By the way, what I will also do, I will share with you what I did with the platform yesterday. I conducted a webinar on platform.
Great.
And you will see how it looks. I think it looks very
Okay.
impressive. I will now share it with you once I get the mail.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
I hope it was okay. You know, sometimes I told you, when I start speaking, I don't stop. It's an issue with me.
Everything was okay. And
okay.
See you next year in Jerusalem.
I wish. Or in Warsaw, I mean, if it's possible.
Yeah.
Thank you so
are
much.
invited all the
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Bye-bye. Shalom. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.